I really enjoy watching anime. I mean, obviously, I spend most of my free time making videos about it. If I didn't, this would be quite the torturous experience. I think in general, I'm a pretty easy customer. My favorite thing to do is figure out what I do like about an anime, what I think makes it special or different. Even shows that aren't up my alley have parts that resonate with me, and extracting those is sometimes more fun than just talking about a series I love. But every once in a while, an anime comes along that feels larger than all of that. Its significance stretches beyond the niche it finds itself in, outside of even the bounding box that is anime. I feel that the only way to consider it is as a piece of art. A great and quick example I can give is Frieren. A lot of people describe the first few episodes of the series as a slow start, but they are some of the most impactful to me. What they say about grief, about the fantasy genre as a whole, even about how we choose to structure our stories with memories and flashbacks. These episodes became reference points for me to compare other stories to. That's why significance is the word that keeps popping up when I try to detail anime like this. I view them as monoliths in both my catalog of shows and the landscape as a whole. Truly masterpieces. Journal with Witch is one of these shows. There were some truly spectacular seasons of anime this winter, but this one stands above the rest. From an execution level, I have no complaints. The animation style, the character design, the music choices, they can all seem understated in isolation. But what you realize pretty quickly is that they are all support beams to the beating heart of this show. Journal with Witch tackles some of the most nuanced and intricate questions about the human condition that I've seen in any piece of media. It doesn't shy away from difficult situations, and it crucially doesn't try to give you easy answers. It respects you as a viewer enough to trust that you will take away from this series what it has to say, and also what you might need to hear. I think 10 different people could watch this anime and see 10 different things in it. It deals with incredibly heavy subject matter, but it's not ever a drag. For as much death as there is in Journal with Witch, there is tenfold more life in the ways its characters think, and feel, and act, and laugh, and cry, and shout, and love. For as lenient as a grader as I can be in my personal ledger, 10s are rare for me. Journal with Witch wasn't even a thought. You can imagine my delight when I checked my anime list and saw that this show is sitting at an 8.82 and number 34 all time. I know that this site is by no means an end-all be-all, but I think it's a useful way to get a pulse on opinions in the community. Seeing this piece sit amongst giants was really cool, especially considering how dissimilar it can be from some of its peers. However, I couldn't help but notice something else. Journal with Witch notably has far less members than you'd normally see for something this favorably looked upon. Even anecdotally, I haven't seen that much buzz about this anime. The effect is pretty straightforward. Most people who watch the show love it. It's just that not that many people have given it a try. So why might that be? The review section for this anime actually had some really useful clues. The most telling is in this mixed review. 99% of this review is spent talking about how amazing it is, how delicately it inspects the realities of our lives and how we grapple with them. They scored it a 9 out of 10, right up there with the best of the best. But their reason for the mixed review? I would not recommend this work for everyone because it's not for everyone. I would not recommend this work indiscriminately or without care. And this really confuses me. I think the perception of Journal with Witch in some ways is reflecting negatively on its reality. The shorthand we use to describe it. Words like heavy, adult, introspective, sad may be correct in some ways, but they inadvertently have a chilling effect on its reach. It makes the show sound like something you need to brace yourself before watching, something to work through, maybe even something boring. And I really feel like that's just not how it goes in practice. Part of the magic of Journal with Witch is how deftly it balances moments of grief and despair with moments of love. Makio and Asa are lively and funny just as much as they are brooding and lonely. The show also has incredible pacing. You might not expect it from a slice of life drama, but this anime has a clever way of bouncing between multiple different conversations that keeps things rushing ahead. It's easy to forget that this is such a highly rated anime, not just because it asks interesting and difficult questions, but because it somehow spins its yarn out in a way that is as entertaining as it is thoughtful. Let's go back to that mixed review for a second though. I think philosophically, I disagree with the idea that a work of art isn't for someone. Something is great because of what it has to offer to anyone that comes across it. We might all see different things, but that breadth of interpretations is another hallmark of its greatness. Also, I think that grappling with works like this is important. Even if you drop it after an episode or two, I think that's still a valuable experience. Even in a world where this video went viral and a bunch of people gave it a try, didn't love it, and I single-handedly dropped its My Anime List score, that's totally fine. I think great works deserve to be seen. The questions that this anime asks are so understandable, but feel so untapped by other works. How do we know that someone is telling us the truth? Does it even matter? Or is what they choose to say to us more important than the truth? Are we all sad and lonely and broken deep down? Or is that just being human? And maybe my favorite, how do we juggle all of the contradictions when it comes to how we think and act every day? We're all the main characters of our lives, but we also go out into a world where everyone else feels the same way. We kind of think we're the best and most important, but we're also harder on ourselves than anyone else. This show's grasp of that idea is nothing short of masterful, and the foundation on which it builds everything else. Journal with Witch deserves a place amongst the best anime ever. I can understand why it has a more limited reach than other series that are flashier or more action-oriented. But I really want to chip in and say why I think this deserves a shot, even if it doesn't seem like something that might be up your alley normally. A lot of the discourse around it focuses on those weightier moments of the story, and it makes sense why. I mean, even my own videos on the series take that angle. But I wanted to pull back and stress that this show is also inspiring, uplifting, funny, and charming. I haven't even touched on something like the voice acting, which is right up there with the best I've heard. Sawashiro Miyuki put in an all-timer performance as Makio, and I already thought she was one of the best with her earlier roles. But I'm getting pulled off course again. Journal with Witch is worth a shot. Even if you don't end up liking it, I think it's worth your time. Maybe that's the best definition of greatness. And that ends today's video. If you have seen this anime already, feel free to drop what you liked or didn't like about it below. I'd love to hear other perspectives, or things I might have missed in my praise of the season. If you liked the video today, and like video essays about all things anime, liking and subscribing helps a ton and will keep you in the loop, as does hitting the hype button on the mobile app. As always, I'm Slam Anime, and I'll see you next time.